Friends on Facebook. Jeff,
Why aren't we?
I'm feeling lonely. I just sent you a friend invite. So we're living in a contradiction. We're more tapped in, plugged in, and connected than we've ever been before, and it's making Facebook and social media is tearing us.
So ladies and gentlemen, think Facebook friends don't know me. I honestly think that she's just jealous, ladies and gentlemen. Because seriously, those 338 Facebook friends allow me to meet and talk and discuss new ideas with people from all across Canada. Those friends are people that I have met at national debate competitions, at other areas around the province that I would never have connected with without social media. So ladies and gentlemen, if you truly think that we should press the like button for Tia's speech, I'd first like to let you listen to mine, and then you can press the dislike button for hers. So ladies and gentlemen, I will first continue with my constructive speech and outline our case, and then I will rebut her other flaws that I have not yet outlined. So first off, we see the reason why Facebook was created. Second, the real causes of loneliness. And third, which Mr. Yaz will talk about, how Facebook creates and nurtures new connections. So ladies and gentlemen, in 2004, when Mark Zuckerberg came up with the idea of inventing Facebook, did he make it so that we would become disconnected, so that we would not have friends? No, ladies and gentlemen, he made Facebook so we could connect each other, so that we could enable ourselves to meet with people, to arrange face-to-face meetings, to go to parties, to get things done online, such as groups through the school, such as our leadership, our Interact clubs, and many other things. So ladies and gentlemen, many of you may have friends that have moved away, or family that has moved away, or they live across the world. Facebook allows us to stay connected with these people. It does not disconnect us. It allows us to see their posts online. It allows us to send messages to them. And most of all, we can video call as well, which is actually face-to-face, as they would like to tell you not. So ladies and gentlemen, what else does Facebook allow us to do? Well, Facebook is not only a way that we can connect with people, but it is a way that we can meet new people who share similar interests, such as by seeing that they simply liked a company's page. Now, on to the real causes of loneliness. We do not see that the causes of loneliness are Facebook, proved by an AARP study. In 1972, ladies and gentlemen, 6% of people were lonely. In 2004, before Facebook was even invented, this had doubled. So ladies and gentlemen, it is not Facebook that is our society's cause of loneliness, it is society in itself. Facebook is simply a way that we can reverse these effects, and instead not be lonely. So what does Facebook do other than just connect us? It can reconnect us with friends that we have lost, friends such as people who graduated with us, friends that have moved away, and most all, it allows us to do what we have been doing since the beginning of history, to communicate, as all human beings do. So now I will rebut Tia's speech. My paper's just sticky. So she stated how Sherry Turkle talked about how relationships are completely reduced to mere connections. Well, I do believe that Sherry Turkle also stated human relationships are rich and they're messy and they're demanding. We clean them up with technology. Technology allows us to make our relationships better. It allows us to make sure that we can communicate with people even when we're across the world, even when we are not face-to-face with them. Because ladies and gentlemen, we can only take so much time with our friends before we drive ourselves crazy. We can't spend all day, every day of our lives with our friends. But we can do that with Facebook. We can communicate if we need to, while still having that alone time that we all need. So, I think though, if she says, Facebook is a way to boast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't boasting and having others appreciate what we do with our lives make us feel wanted? It does not make us feel lonely. While this may be true that people boast on Facebook, Tia has said that that makes us feel lonely, which I really don't understand, because when I get 30 likes on a picture I post, I don't feel lonely. I feel like that is an awesome thing. And that is something that everyone wants, is to have people like their things on Facebook. Now, the other thing that she also said was how Facebook is a way that we change ourselves. We change ourselves to fit in with Facebook. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want Facebook, you can be the lonely person who doesn't have it, who isn't connected, and is out of the loop. So I think that's the person who's lonely, who's the person who doesn't have Facebook, if I'm not correct. Now, finally, we would just like to say how Facebook is not a way for us to be lonely. It allows us to stay connected. Most of us as teenagers in this room feel very disconnected when our cell phone battery dies, when we don't have cell service. We cannot wait to get to a power plug, as I have seen with the numerous power plugs filled at the back of my biology class, people waiting to get back on their phone so that they can text. Because Facebook connects us and gives us that awesome feeling of being wanted. So finally, I think we just have to really say that Facebook is not a way that we're lonely. It allows us to stay connected and have more friends. It enables us. And it is not the cause of loneliness, ladies and gentlemen. So please do not believe their lies. Thank you.
Now, to rebut that, we have the shortcomings of technology.
When technology engineers intimacy, relationships can be reduced to mere connections. And then, easy connection becomes redefined as intimacy. Put otherwise, cyber intimacies slide into cyber solitudes. Sherry Turkle, author of Alone Together. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, my worthy colleague and I will be speaking on the proposition side of the argument. Facebook is making us lonely. I will open our case by speaking to our first point. Facebook is not a replacement for real life and real social interaction. My colleague will further our case during her speech. Facebook and social media are making us lonely due to the fact that they are not a replacement for face-to-face social interaction. We are misusing our online life to the extent where it's controlling and hurting us. Our online life doesn't satisfy our social cravings and needs fully, although we're led to believe otherwise. Let's look at our friends on Facebook. First of all, how many of these people do we actually know? How many of them do we consider close friends? How many are we just friends with because everyone else is? The vast majority of us on Facebook and other social media sites can attest to the fact that yes, I am friends online with this person, but we've never actually talked in real life. Mr. Jesse Bartzov has 338 Facebook friends. How could he possibly maintain good relations with all these people? Does he even know these people? Does he even socialize with all these so-called friends? Our definition of the word friend is changing, from one attached to another by affection, to one we may not even know or like. Although many of us have 500 plus friends on Facebook, how many of them are truly there for us? How many of them actually care? We're slowly being pulled away from our old lifestyles and old definition of friends to make way for a new, unknown friend who doesn't necessarily care for us or share our interests and values. Take Mr. Yaz here, for example. We're friends on Facebook, but we don't hang out or go shopping together. You know, I really can't remember the last time me and Mr. Yaz had a sleepover. Humans need direct interaction. This means that when we say and do things, we need praise and recognition to make us feel fulfilled. When we don't get recognition immediately, we feel unsatisfactory and begin to second guess our actions and words, causing us anxiety and loneliness. With social media, we feel the need to broadcast our accomplishments in the form of status updates and so forth, causing us to be boastful just to feel noticed and recognized. We all have those friends whose status updates consist of so much science homework, hashtag YOLO, or I just had oatmeal for breakfast. What part of friendship states that we must be subject to every mundane detail of our friends' lives? According to a study conducted recently about gauging personal worth by online standards, concluded that when we see a post that's content is about someone having more fun than we are currently having, or the post has more likes than we usually get, we feel lonely and underappreciated. We still value human contact and feel left out and lonely when our friends or others post online about how much fun they had on the weekend without us. This goes to show that being included in offline activities is cherished and considered more valuable than spending time online by yourself. John Cacioppo once said, "The greater the proportion of face-to-face interactions, the less lonely you are. The greater the proportion of online interactions, the lonelier you are." Social media creates a standard that very few of us can live up to. The realm of social media is highly competitive in the sense that everyone wants credit for their statuses, pictures, and posts. We alter our opinions, interests, personalities, and looks to fit the elusive, unconfirmed online mold that we will never perfect. This causes us loneliness. We see others getting recognition for things we fail at. We feel stilted in our online selves, yet we still endorse this growing industry that doesn't fit humanity. But instead of changing the industry, we change ourselves. In the words of Albert Einstein, I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. Thank you for your time.